Teachers, what was the worst thing a substitute teacher did while you were gone? I'm a little late to the party, but here as goes. I had a grade half class last year and one student had diabetes. Let's call him Adam. So Adam had a cell phone that beeps when his blood sugar is too low/high. It's connected to the monitor in his arm/hip. The cell phone has no other uses, no apps, and no data, not connected to the school Wi-Fi. The substitute saw his phone on his desk and promptly took it away as per the no devices rule. During gym class, an EA comes in to make sure everything is okay, and Adam is visibly ill. Pale/sweating, the whole works. Luckily, this EA knows Adam's medical plan, instantly asks the Adam for the phone, and he explains that the substitute took it away in the morning. The EA then loses IT on the substitute demanding the phone. The substitute calls in the principal to reprimand the EA, then get reprimanded herself as obviously she did not read the student's safety plans. She was asked to leave and the principal taught the class the rest of the day. Adam was fine, drank a couple juice boxes and had a granola bar. Mom picked him up shortly after. That teacher was a bitch. Good to hear that Adam was okay though. As soon as a type 1 diabetic gets candy in their system, they should be good. I'm type 1 and it's a daily. Scary part is that Adam was so obedient he didn't sass the sub. When politeness will kill you. Back when I was a teacher, I had a sub decide my plans weren't good enough for her and went rogue. She decided to show my students videos of animals giving birth on YouTube. I taught English. What? Exactly what I said when I came back and heard about what happened. Now I really want to know what your students were saying to you once you got back. Like, how do you even describe that to a teacher? You know how we were supposed to do English? Yeah, so now we know how an elephant gives birth. I regret writing this comment. Rearranged my room. Not in a moved student A away from student B and put her by student C way. In a move the giant rug over to the opposite corner of the room, and completely change the layout of student desks, and rearrange a bookshelf way. Okay, this is the weirdest one, like, the other ones are explainable as the subs being buttholes, but this? Just. Why? I've had teachers temporarily rearrange rooms for activities. It never seemed a big deal to me, but I've also never been in a classroom with a rug. Left my perfectly prepped and neat desk an absolute disaster, did not follow the lesson plan and took my gel pens. No, not the gel pens. I had a sub steal my dry erase markers and emergency chocolate once. After that, I locked my drawers and left them with 2 pens and 1 dry erase marker. Edit. Today I learned how many people don't know what emergency chocolate is. It can be for you, your work friends, or in my case, occasionally also for students who are having a tough day and might be cheered up a little by some chocolate. It builds goodwill. Go get yourself some, and make sure it's the good stuff. The mixed bag of individually wrapped Ghirardelli squares is my recommendation. It's a small portion, and just one of those feels like a treat. Not the emergency chocolate. There was a harpsichord in the front of the classroom used both for demonstration and performance. Not knowing what he was doing, the sub tried to tune 3 notes that had gone mildly out of tune while I was away. He managed to break the strings on all 3 notes and left a message inside reading, "Sorry about that." There was a secret harpsichord at my university. Not to everyone obviously, but most of the music majors didn't know it existed. I was teaching myself piano at the time and played the wheels off that bad boy after discovering it. If I could have strapped it to my car, I would have taken it home after spring semester. Now, I've heard there was a secret harpsichord that lonely scientist played, and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? I've never played a harpsichord. Even I know you don't touch the strings of a harpsichord if you aren't trained for it. Also, why after you broke the first one, why would you keep going? Then you break another one and just say 3rd time's the charm? Not a teacher, but in 9th grade my algebra I teacher had her baby early in the year, so she was gone till the last month or 2 months of the school year. The sub was a former teacher, so you'd think she'd be a great sub. Nope. She hyper focused on 3 to 4 out of the 28 students in the class and just teach them while completely ignoring the rest of us. She'd pass out a worksheet, then go to her students and never acknowledge us again till she dismissed us. Never checked homework, never acknowledged us. If anyone outside of her favorite students raised their hand or spoke up, they were ignored, etc., which went about as well as you expected with a bunch of 14 to 15-year-olds. That class was just wild, the kids who actually stayed in the classroom anyway. It was a mess. I'm actually surprised we weren't reported or visited by the teachers on either side of us for how loud we were. After several months with this lady, the vice principal was walking around randomly checking classrooms and walked into our crap show Algebra I class. He lost it. Yelled at all of us to sit down and shut up. Which he also didn't acknowledge, demanded she leave and sat with us the rest of the period. Never saw her again and had maybe 6 to 7 different subs after her. 2 weeks after this, our regular teacher came back. When she realized we had learned nothing and learned the extent of how useless this lady had been, she started tearing up. I passed the classroom on the way to the bathroom during the next period and saw her sobbing at her desk. A friend of my mom's worked at the central office where they assigned or organized the substitute teachers. That lady was permanently taken off the substitute list. Epping hate teachers like that. Serves her right. I felt so bad for my Algebra I teacher. She basically had to teach all of us a year's worth of math in less than 2 months while also dealing with a class full of kids and who were used to doing whatever they wanted. Ironically, the 3 to 4 the sub focused on ended up scoring the lowest on the end-of-year test. Just to add to this, I was friends with one of the students she focused on. He said she was a horrible teacher and made no sense whatsoever. Said he'd rather she just have ignored him too and couldn't for the life of him figure out why she liked him and the others so much. She basically had to teach all of us a year's worth of math in less than 2 months while also dealing with a class full of kids and who were used to doing whatever they wanted, and with a effing newborn baby at home. That initial period of separation is often super difficult for mothers, especially if it's their first child. Your teacher had every reason to be an emotional mess without having to deal with the crap show she returned to. That's awful, but shame on the administrators in this situation. It should have been caught much earlier on that no learning was happening. I have no idea how it wasn't caught earlier. The regular teacher left in late September or early October, and it was close to April by the time the vice principal blew up at our class. So it was months before this was discovered. I came back after being gone one day and my students told me the substitute teacher flipped over tables in a rage and was escorted from the building by a cop. What actually happened is that the sub left the room to take a 20-minute phone call and the kids thought it would be funny to flip the tables over. The substitute then had to flip the tables right side up while yelling at the kids. Then, during lunch, my special ed co-teacher came into my room to set up and caught the sub making out with a student. Turns out she was 18 to his 25 and the 20 minutes phone call was to set up the lunch meeting. The principal then had him escorted from the building by the resource officer. This is why I say having a sub is more work than just coming into school my damn self. Edit, wrong version of principal. I'll just come do it my damn self. Lol, that's how I see you pep talking yourself when you are wanting a day off but don't want the drama. Didn't do anything to the kids, per se, but told the kids that the reason I was out was because my mom was having breast cancer surgery. I teach K-5 and I specifically didn't tell the kids because I didn't want them to worry. So, when I came back, I had a bunch of kids come up to me asking about my mom, which was so sweet, but not something the kids should have had to worry about. Now that you said that, with all due respect, how is your mother? Is she doing okay? She doesn't want us kids to worry about it. When I was a substitute, I got a lot of requested jobs because the substitute pool was poor. One such example given to me was a substitute who would just go to sleep. I barely believed it. Once I was teaching full-time, I had a sub come in for a day. When I got back, my students told me that he told them to leave him alone, sat down, and went to sleep. I believed it then. When I was in high school, there was this sub that would sleep. He would literally introduce himself, pull out his hearing aid and knock out. There was also this substitute who wouldn't let us do any work. She would start class, tell us what our teacher left us to do, but then before starting she would introduce herself. This included 40 minutes of talking about her entire life and showing us pictures of her cats. And she would chastise you for being disrespectful if you did anything but listen to her. My teacher came back the next day and was like, Why didn't any of my classes get anything done? My God, the most annoying subs were the ones that went on 20-minute long introductions in our 45-minute classes talking about where they graduated college and how many years they worked for whatever government agency. When I was in high school, we had a regular in the pool of subs who would just sleep through every class. He was very popular with students. When I was in high school, had a sub do this, we all left early except for a few kids. One of the kids told us later that when the sub woke up he noticed all the kids that left, looked at the remaining kids and asked them why they hadn't left yet. Great times. Mad lad. Was this the last period? If not, where did you go? Oh, I'd believe it. I had more than one sub come in, go to the desk, sit down, tell us to do our work, no direction as to work, just do your work, then would just read a newspaper for the rest of the period. Not a teacher but the sub made the handicapped classmate who has muscle, joint and vision complications go grab his textbook from his homeroom. He's not completely helpless, but when it comes to heavy things, he needs help. Classmate's homeroom was halfway across campus and the required book consists of 5 large text volumes because they're specifically made for his poor vision. He can't wear glasses either due to complications. I offered to help because I'm usually the one that goes and grabs it for him during normal class, but the sub yelled at me saying he knows my kind and I'm just trying to get out of class. Sub told me he's not there to play games and for me to quit it before he sends me off to the principal's office. Needless to say, the entire class was shocked. Classmate came back with another student from the homeroom requesting that next time the sub sends someone else to grab the books because my classmate can't carry it by himself. When my usual teacher came back, we requested the sub not return because of what he said to us and did to classmate. My teacher wrote an email to the principal about it and that was the end of that. I had a few teachers like that. One yelled at me in front of the entire class for not having my textbook ready to turn in at the end of the year and threatened to make me pay for it, when the book was at my house, where it was supposed to be. Because I couldn't haul my textbooks back and forth. When I meekly reminded him of my 504 plan, he acted like it was my fault he forgot, as though I had hidden this fact from him the entire year. Edit. For those who don't seem to get it, I have disabilities. This wasn't just oh my teacher was mean or hee whoops I didn't have my book. This was a teacher who decided to ignore the fact that I am visibly disabled and instead belittled me in front of all the other students. Good ending at least. What do you mean you're in a wheelchair? Just stand up and go get it. Gave out snacks I bought with my own money that I kept for kids who stayed after to get tutoring. Threw out a broken electric pencil sharpener that kids broke in front of her. Which again, I bought with my own money and couldn't get replaced by the company because I had no product to send back. I still don't have a sharpener for my room. Let the kids go through my things in my cabinets and desk. Lost a bunch of stuff that way. Hey 29 Mick 152, Amazon delivers all over the world. Where can I send you a pencil sharpener? Edit. Thank you all for your Reddit acts of kindness. You all cleaned out that teacher's wish list in an hour. How wonderful you are. Edit. List is empty. Only gift cards now for snack and PPE replenishment. I had a teacher Amazon list. So many of you gave what you could. I'm so thankful, and when my kids finally are able to come back in January, they'll have something closer to normal to start with. I started the week by taking out a payday loan and debating with my husband about postponing or skipping Thanksgiving this year. Completely unrelated to teaching, but still sucky, this brought me a much needed lift. If you wanted to help me out, please check out Donors Choose or hashtag clear the list to pay it forward to other teachers. Thank you all so much. I'll post again as I receive things and get my classroom set up for our hybrid return. Thank you all so much. Feels like a weight is off my shoulders. This year has been tough for all my kids and myself, and we're planning on going hybrid, and I'm feeling so much more prepared to get them back a piece of some normalcy and some fun. Like my ducks and the Jolly Ranchers. Got the sharpener, should be there Tuesday. Legit of you. You have 3 shipments coming your way. One tomorrow, one Tuesday, and then another after Thanksgiving. I didn't see the sharpener, so someone else must have grabbed it before me. I figured you could use a few other things. Good luck to you and your students. Edit. Wow, this blew up overnight. Thank you all for the awards and kind words, but it takes nothing at all to help someone. The teacher above is the real hero. Spending day after day helping children become the amazing adults we'll see someday. You don't have to wait for something to come up on Reddit to help. If you're a parent, and can afford it, something as simple as sending in an extra box of pencils or box of tissues will absolutely help your child's teacher. Even if you don't have children, donating school supplies would be amazing to a school. Every school is different, so just call and ask what they need. For anyone that has a bit more to spare, did you know many high schools don't let kids walk at graduation if their school fees and lunch payments aren't paid in full by graduation? I live in a blue-collar, lower/middle class area. Every year my husband and I call our local high school and get the remaining balances for all the graduating seniors and pay it off for them. Some years it does add up, but other years it's only a couple students and less than $50. Less than $50 to make sure kids can have their day and walk across that stage for a graduation. Something many only get once in their lifetime. If you're doing better than most, I encourage you to check this out at your local schools. Go out today and help someone. But stay 6 feet away cause COVID, y'all. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.